All right, today we're going to tackle one of the most important rules in all of algebra, the product rule for exponents. Now, I know that sounds a little formal, but trust me. Think of this as the key that's going to unlock a whole new level of math for you, and it's way easier than you think. So, let's just jump right in. Take a look at this. Does this look a little complicated? Maybe even a bit intimidating? Well, I promise you, by the time we're done here, you're going to look at this problem and know exactly what to do. No sweat. First up, we're building a bridge. This is the bridge that's going to take you from the math you already know to some seriously powerful algebra. And, any good bridge needs a rock-solid foundation, so let's start right there with the absolute basics. Okay, so let's do a super quick refresh. What even is an exponent? It's really just a little bit of shorthand. That small number just tells you how many times to multiply the big number, the base, by itself. So when you see x to the third power, it just means x times x times x. Simple as that. All right, now that we've got our foundation set, it's time to unlock a really powerful shortcut. And here's the deal. We're not just going to memorize some rule from a textbook. We're going to see for ourselves exactly why this whole thing works. Let's start with a really simple question. What actually happens when you try to multiply two powers that have the same base? Something like x squared times x cubed. What do you do with those little numbers up top? Well, instead of guessing, let's just write it out the long way, based on what we just reviewed. X squared, that's just x times x. And x cubed, that's x times x times x. So really, all we're doing is multiplying one long string of x's together. And right here, this is where the magic happens. All you have to do is just count them up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's all being multiplied together. So what's our answer? It's got to be x to the 5th power. And there it is. We just figured out the product rule all on our own. The amazing shortcut is that whenever you're multiplying terms with the exact same base, you just add their exponents. 2 plus 3 gave us 5. That's the whole secret. Okay, so we get the why behind the rule. Now it's time to actually put it into practice. We're going to work our way through 3 quick levels, kind of like a video game, to make sure the skill is totally locked in. Let's do it. All right, level 1, the absolute basics. We've got y to the 4th times y to the 9th. So what's the first thing we do? We check the bases. Are they the same? Yep, they're both y. Perfect, so we just add the exponents. 4 plus 9 is 13. Our answer is y to the 13th. Easy peasy. Okay, on to level 2. Now we're throwing in coefficients. Those are just the big numbers out front. The trick here is to handle this in 2 separate parts. First, you just multiply the big numbers like you normally would. So 3 times 5 gives you 15. Then you use our new rule for the variables. Add the exponents. 2 plus 7 is 9. Slap them together and you've got 15x to the 9th. And here we go, level 3. It's that problem from the very beginning. The key is just to tackle it piece by piece. First, the coefficients. -2 times 4 is -8. Got it? Now let's handle the a's. And here is a super important tip. If you don't see an exponent, it's secretly a 1. So a cubed times a to the 1st is a to the 4th. We do the same thing for the b's. B to the 1st times b to the 5th is b to the 6th. Put it all together, and you get -8, a to the 4th, b to the 6th. See? Not so scary anymore, is it? Awesome. You've totally got the skill down. Now, before we celebrate, let's quickly go over the 2 most common traps people fall into. I want to make sure you never make these mistakes. Okay, trap number 1. This one is so tempting. You see that multiplication dot, and your brain just screams multiply everything. But don't do it. Remember when we laid it all out, we were counting the total number of x's. We weren't multiplying the groups of x's. You always add the exponents. It's x to the 5th, not x to the 6th. And now for trap number 2, which is pretty much the exact opposite mistake. You get so into the habit of adding that you accidentally add the big numbers out front. But remember, those coefficients are just regular numbers. You treat them normally. So 3 times 5 is 15, not 8. Let's say it together. You multiply the big numbers and you add the small ones. So, you've mastered this rule. You know the traps to avoid. But you might still be thinking, okay, but why? Why does this really matter? What's the big payoff? Well, here's the thing. This rule is the bedrock for so many other things you're going to learn. Stuff like multiplying polynomials or using scientific notation to talk about huge numbers. It's all built on this foundation. You absolutely can't do the more advanced stuff without getting this down first. And this isn't just about what's in a math book either. This stuff has huge real-world uses. I mean, the computer or phone you are watching this on right now, its memory was designed and calculated using these exact exponent rules. It's happening all around us. For instance, check this out. 2 to the 20th power isn't just a random problem on a quiz. It's literally the calculation for how many bits are in one single megabyte of data. And that number is over 1,000,000. Exponents are truly the language that modern technology speaks. So look at what you've done today. You've built a solid foundation. You know exactly what to do when you're asked to multiply powers. Which, of course, brings up the next big question, doesn't it? What do you think happens when you have to divide them?